Something is shifting inside you right now, and the strange part is, you already know it. You have been feeling it in the way certain conversations no longer satisfy you, in the way old routines suddenly feel like they belong to someone you used to be. If you clicked on this video, it was not by accident. The proof that you are growing is not hidden somewhere in the future. It is showing up right now in your daily life, in the quiet moments when you catch yourself thinking differently, reacting differently, wanting something deeper than what used to be enough. Libra, this period is not just another season. This is a turning point, and you are standing at the edge of something that could redefine how you see yourself, how you move through the world, and how the world responds to you. But here is what most people miss. Growth does not always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like confusion. Sometimes it feels like loss. And sometimes the very thing that makes you uncomfortable is the evidence that you are evolving beyond the version of yourself that played it safe, kept the peace at any cost, and smiled when you really wanted to scream. This reading is going to walk you through everything that is unfolding for you right now. And I need you to stay until the very end, because the last few sections contain details that could change how you approach the next several weeks of your life. Let us begin. Tip 1. You are outgrowing relationships that once defined you, and that is not a loss. It is a promotion. There is a particular kind of grief that nobody talks about, and it is the grief you feel when you are still standing next to someone but you already know the connection has changed. You have not had a fight. Nobody said anything cruel. But something inside you has shifted, and now the space between you and certain people feels wider than it used to, even when you are sitting in the same room. Libra, this is one of the clearest signs that growth is happening, and it is happening fast. You are not losing people. You are recalibrating your entire system of connection. The relationships that used to feel comfortable are now starting to feel flat, not because those people changed, but because you did. And that can be incredibly disorienting for someone like you who has always measured their own stability by the health of their relationships. You have spent years being the one who adjusts, the one who softens their tone, the one who makes room for everyone else's feelings even when your own were screaming for attention. And now, for the first time in a long time, you are starting to question whether that was ever really balance or whether it was just a sophisticated form of self-abandonment. This shift is not something you chose consciously. It started quietly, maybe months ago, maybe even longer. You noticed that certain phone calls left you drained instead of energized. You noticed that you stopped looking forward to gatherings that used to bring you joy. You noticed that your patience for small talk, for surface-level exchanges, for conversations that go nowhere, it dried up almost overnight. And instead of feeling guilty about it, which is what the old version of you would have done, you started feeling something else entirely. You started feeling clear. That clarity is not cold. It is not selfish. It is the natural result of someone who is finally aligning with their actual values instead of performing a version of harmony that never truly served them. You are beginning to understand that real connection is not about proximity. It is about depth. And depth requires honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to show up as you actually are, not as the version of you that makes everyone else comfortable. Some of the people in your life are going to struggle with this new version of you. They are going to say you have changed, and they will not mean it as a compliment. They are going to feel the distance growing, and they are going to blame you for it, because it is easier to point fingers than to look in the mirror and ask why they stopped growing a long time ago. But here is what you need to hold on to when those moments come. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. You spent years carrying the emotional weight of every room you walked into. You spent years being the mediator, the peacekeeper, the one who smoothed things over so nobody else had to feel the friction. And all of that came at a cost. Cost you your voice. Cost you your preferences. It cost you the ability to say no without immediately feeling like you had done something wrong. This season is handing that back to you piece by piece, and the people who are meant to stay will adjust. They will rise to meet you at this new level. And the ones who cannot, they were never matching your energy in the first place. They were just benefiting from your willingness to shrink. So let them be uncomfortable. Let them question the shift. Let them have their opinions about who you are becoming. Because the truth is, you are not becoming someone new. You are becoming someone real. And that is a promotion that no one else needs to approve. Tip 2. Your intuition is louder than it has ever been, and ignoring it is costing you. Something has been trying to get your attention for weeks now, maybe longer. It is not a voice exactly, but it is a feeling, a pull, a knowing that sits in your chest before your mind has a chance to rationalize it away. Libra, your intuition has always been strong. You are someone who reads rooms before you read words, someone who picks up on energy shifts that most people completely miss. But for a long time, you trained yourself to override that inner knowing because it conflicted with what was logical, what was polite, what was expected. And now, the universe is turning up the volume on that signal, and it is getting harder and harder to pretend you do not hear it. You have been having moments recently where you just know something, and you cannot explain how. You meet someone and within seconds your body tells you whether this person is safe, or whether they are wearing a mask. You hear a plan being presented and before anyone finishes talking, something inside you already knows it will not work. You wake up in the middle of the night with a sudden clarity about a situation that has been confusing you for months. These are not random events. This is your intuitive system upgrading, and it is upgrading because you are finally creating the internal conditions for it to function properly. When you spend years prioritizing other people's feelings over your own instincts, your intuition gets buried under layers of accommodation. It does not disappear, but it gets muffled, like a radio playing in another room. You can hear the faint melody, but you cannot make out the words. What is happening now is that those layers are peeling back. As you start setting boundaries, as you start honoring your own needs, as you start telling the truth even when it is uncomfortable, your intuition gets clearer. It gets sharper. It becomes impossible to ignore. And here's the part that might sting a little. Every time you have ignored it recently, it has cost you something. Think back over the last few months. There was a moment when your gut told you to walk away from something, and you stayed because you did not want to cause a disruption. There was a moment when your instinct said this person is not being honest with you, and you pushed that feeling aside because acknowledging it would have meant having a conversation you were not ready for. There was a moment when something inside you said this is not the right path, and you kept walking down it anyway because changing direction felt too complicated. Every single one of those moments created unnecessary struggle. Not because you are foolish, but because you were still operating under the old programming that says keeping the peace is more important than keeping your integrity. That programming is being deleted right now, whether you are ready for it or not. Your intuition is not asking for your permission anymore. It is demanding your attention. And the more you honor it, the more accurate it becomes. This is not about becoming suspicious of everyone. This is not about living in fear. This is about trusting yourself enough to act on what you feel before you have all the evidence. Because by the time the evidence shows up, the window of opportunity has usually already closed. Start small if you need to. The next time you feel a pull towards something, follow it without needing to justify it to anyone. The next time your body tightens around a certain person or situation, pay attention to that signal instead of talking yourself out of it. The next time you wake up with a sudden insight about something, write it down before your rational mind has a chance to edit it. You are entering a phase where your intuition is going to become your most reliable guide. More reliable than advice from others, more reliable than logic, more reliable than past experience. But it only works if you stop fighting it and start following it. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. A financial shift is building, but it requires you to change how you think about your own value. There is money trying to reach you right now, and that might sound like a strange way to phrase it, but it is the most accurate way to describe what is happening in your energy field. Libra, you have always had a complicated relationship with money, not because you do not understand it, but because deep down you have never fully believed you deserve abundance without struggle. Somewhere along the way, you absorbed the idea that good things have to be earned through suffering, that money only comes to people who grind themselves into dust, and that wanting financial comfort makes you shallow or greedy. Those beliefs are not yours. They were handed to you by people who never figured out their own relationship with abundance, and you carried them like they were truth. But they are not truth. They are programming. And this season is asking you to reprogram everything you believe about what you are worth. You have been undercharging, undervaluing, and underasking for longer than you realize. Whether it is in your work, your business, your services, or even the way you split costs in your personal life, there is a pattern of you accepting less than what is fair because asking for more felt uncomfortable. You did not want to seem demanding. You did not want to rock the boat. You did not want someone to look at your price or your request and decide you were not worth it. So you made yourself affordable. You made yourself easy. You made yourself the bargain option in situations where you were actually delivering luxury-level results. That pattern is being disrupted right now, and it is being disrupted because the universe has plans for you that require a stronger financial foundation than the one you have been standing on. Pay attention to the opportunities that are starting to appear. There might be a chance to take on a new role, a new project, a new arrangement that pays significantly more than what you are used to. There might be a conversation coming where someone asks you what you charge, and for the first time you have the courage to name a number that actually reflects your skill and your time. There might be an unexpected source of income that shows up seemingly out of nowhere, something you planted seeds for a long time ago that is finally ready to bloom. But here is the key. None of this can fully materialize if you are still carrying the belief that you do not deserve it. The money is not the issue. The opportunity is not the issue. Your self-worth is the issue. And the moment you genuinely, deeply, in your bones believe that you are worth more than what you have been accepting, the external world will adjust to match that internal shift. This is not about greed. This is about alignment. You have been giving at a level 10 and receiving at a level 4, and that imbalance has been draining you financially, emotionally, and energetically. It is time to close the gap. Start by examining every area of your life where you are accepting less than you deserve. Look at your income. Look at your agreements. Look at the way people compensate you for your time, your energy, your expertise, and then ask yourself honestly, if someone I loved was in my position, would I tell them to accept this, or would I tell them they deserve more? Whatever answer comes up, act on it. Because the financial breakthrough that is waiting for you on the other side of this shift is not small. It is the kind of change that restructures your entire relationship with security, freedom, and what is possible for your life. Tip 4. Someone from your past is about to resurface, and you need to be ready for what that stirs up. There is an energy coming back around, and you have felt it hovering at the edges of your awareness for a little while now. It might be a name that keeps popping into your mind at odd moments. It might be a dream that features someone you have not thought about in years. It might be a song, a place, a smell that suddenly transports you back to a chapter of your life you thought you had closed for good. Libra, someone from your past is preparing to re-enter your story, and this is not random. This is happening because you have reached a level of growth where you can now handle a conversation, a situation, or a truth that would have broken you before. The universe does not bring things back into your life unless there is a reason for it. Sometimes the reason is closure. Sometimes the reason is a second chance. And sometimes the reason is simply to show you how far you have come by putting you face to face with something that used to have power over you. Whatever the reason is in your specific case, you need to prepare yourself emotionally before this encounter happens. Because the danger is not the person themselves. The danger is the version of you that existed when they were last in your life. That version was more accommodating, more willing to overlook red flags, more desperate for connection, more afraid of being alone. And when this person reappears, there is a part of you that will want to slip back into that old skin, because it is familiar, because it is comfortable, because it requires less courage than standing in the new version of yourself. Do not let that happen. You did not do all of this growing just to shrink back down the moment a familiar face shows up. You did not spend months rewiring your boundaries, reclaiming your voice, and rebuilding your sense of self just to hand all of that over because someone from your history decided they miss what you used to give them. Pay close attention to the timing of their return. Ask yourself why now. What changed in their life that suddenly made them think of you? Because more often than not, when someone comes back, it is not because they realized your value. It is because whatever they replaced you with stopped working, and they are looking for the comfort and stability that you always provided. That does not mean you have to be hostile. That does not mean you have to shut the door completely. But it does mean you need to enter this interaction with your eyes open and your standards firmly in place. If this person has genuinely changed, you will see it in their actions long before you hear it in their words. Real transformation does not announce itself. It just shows up consistently, quietly, without demanding applause. If they come back with the same patterns, the same excuses, the same cycle of intensity followed by distance, then you already have your answer. You lived through that story once. You do not need to read it again. The most powerful thing you can do when this moment arrives is to stay grounded in who you are now, not who you were then. Let them see the version of you that has boundaries. Let them see the version of you that does not need external validation to feel whole. Let them see the version of you that can walk away without collapsing. That is the real proof that you have grown, when the thing that used to control you shows up and you realize it has no power over you anymore. Tip 5. Your body is sending you signals that your mind has been too busy to notice. There is a physical dimension to everything you are going through right now, and if you have been ignoring it, this is your wake-up call. Libra, your body has been trying to communicate with you. Not through dramatic illness, but through subtle signals that keep showing up, and then getting pushed aside because you are too focused on everything happening around you to pay attention to what is happening inside you. Maybe it is tension in your shoulders that never fully goes away. Maybe it is a tightness in your jaw that you only notice when you are lying in bed at night. Maybe it is headaches that appear at the same time every day, or a heaviness in your chest that has nothing to do with anything medical and everything to do with emotions you have been storing instead of releasing. Your body is not separate from your emotional and spiritual experience. It is the vessel that carries all of it. And when you spend months processing deep shifts in your relationships, your finances, your identity, and your purpose, your body absorbs the impact of all that processing. It keeps a record of every conversation you held back, every boundary you did not set, every tear you swallowed because the timing did not feel right. And eventually, that record starts to speak in the only language the body knows: sensation. This is not about fear. This is not about assuming something is wrong. This is about developing a relationship with your physical self that is as intentional and caring as the relationships you work so hard to maintain with everyone else. You pour into other people constantly. You check in on friends. You ask your loved ones how they are feeling. You notice when someone else is off, and you adjust your energy to support them. But when was the last time you checked in on yourself with that same tenderness? When was the last time you asked your body what it needs and then actually listened to the answer? The signals you are receiving right now are not random. They are connected to the growth you are moving through. As old emotional patterns release, the body often mirrors that release through physical sensations. You might feel exhausted even after a full night of sleep, because your system is processing at a level that rest alone cannot address. You might feel restless, like your body wants to move, but your mind does not know where to direct that energy. You might notice changes in your appetite, your sleep patterns, your cravings, all of which are your body's way of recalibrating to match the new emotional frequency you are stepping into. Honor those signals instead of overriding them. If your body says rest, rest. If your body says move, move. If your body says cry, let the tears come without judging them or trying to figure out what they are about. Sometimes tears are not about sadness. Sometimes they are about release, about letting go of a version of yourself that you have been carrying long past its expiration date. You do not need to understand every signal to respect it. You just need to stop treating your body like a machine that should perform on demand, and start treating it like a partner that has been with you through every single chapter of this story. It has held you through heartbreak. It has carried you through exhaustion. It has kept going even when you gave it very little in return. Now is the time to give back. Now is the time to slow down enough to listen, because the body that is carrying you through this transformation deserves the same level of care and attention that you give to everything and everyone else in your life. Tip 6. A creative or passionate energy is rising in you, and suppressing it is no longer an option. Something wants to come through you right now, and it has been building pressure for longer than you might realize. Libra, there is a creative or passionate energy that has been sitting in the background of your life, waiting for permission to express itself, and that permission window is now wide open. This might show up as a sudden urge to create something, to write, to paint, to build, to design, to rearrange your living space, to start a project that has been sitting in the back of your mind collecting dust. Or it might show up as a deeper, more primal kind of passion, a desire for intensity in your relationships, in your intimacy, in the way you experience pleasure and connection. Either way, this energy is not asking for your analysis. It is asking for your surrender. For a long time, you have been living in your head. You have been thinking about what you want instead of allowing yourself to feel it. You have been planning and strategizing and weighing every option so carefully that by the time you made a decision, the spark that originally inspired it had already faded. That is how you have been operating for months, maybe years, and it has left you feeling strangely hollow even when everything on the surface looks fine. The hollowness you have been experiencing is not depression. It is suppression. You have been pushing down the part of yourself that wants to create, that wants to express, that wants to pour something raw and unfiltered into the world, and you have been pushing it down because you are afraid it will not be good enough, or because you are afraid of what people will think, or because you are afraid that if you let yourself feel that deeply, you will lose control of the carefully constructed image you have built. But here is what you need to understand. That control is an illusion. It always has been. The version of you that is perfectly composed, perfectly balanced, perfectly reasonable at all times is not the real you. It is a performance. And performances are exhausting when they never end. The real you is messy and passionate and creative and intense, and that version of you is dying to be let out of the cage. This period is creating the conditions for that release. You are going to start feeling urges that do not make logical sense. You are going to want to drop everything and work on something that has no guaranteed outcome. You are going to feel pulled toward a form of expression that your rational mind cannot justify because there is no clear profit in it, no obvious career benefit, no way to explain it on a resume. Follow it anyway, because this energy is not about productivity. It is about aliveness. It is about reconnecting with the part of yourself that remembers what it feels like to be fully engaged with the present moment, not watching life from a safe distance, but actually participating in it with your whole being. The creative projects that come from this season will surprise you, not because they will be perfect, but because they will be honest. And honesty in creation is the rarest and most powerful thing there is. Do not edit yourself before you have even started. Do not critique the impulse before you have given it space to breathe. Just let it move through you and see what it becomes. You might discover a talent you did not know you had. You might reignite a passion you abandoned years ago because someone told you it was not practical. You might find that the thing you create during this period becomes the foundation for something much larger than you can currently imagine. But none of that can happen if you keep the lid on. The pressure has been building long enough. Let it out. Tip 7. A truth you have been avoiding is about to become impossible to ignore. There is something you know that you have been pretending not to know, and that pretending is about to come to an end. Libra, you are one of the most perceptive signs in the entire zodiac. You see things that other people miss. You understand dynamics that most people cannot even articulate. And because of that awareness, you often find yourself in the uncomfortable position of knowing a truth long before you are ready to deal with it. You have been sitting with something for a while now. It might be a truth about a relationship, about a job, about a living situation, about a friendship, about a family dynamic, or about yourself. Whatever it is, you have been aware of it on some level, but you have been filing it away in the back of your mind because confronting it would require action, and action would require change, and change would disrupt the equilibrium you have worked so hard to maintain. But equilibrium built on denial is not balance. It is a house of cards, and the wind is picking up. The truth you have been avoiding is not going to stay quiet anymore. It is going to start showing up in ways you cannot sidestep. You might hear it reflected back to you in a conversation with someone who has no idea they just said the exact thing you needed to hear. You might see it mirrored in a situation that plays out in front of you, like the universe is staging a scene specifically for your benefit. You might feel it landing in your chest during a quiet moment when there are no distractions left to hide behind. However it arrives, it is coming, and your only real choice is whether you meet it standing up or whether you let it knock you down. Meeting it standing up means having the conversation you have been putting off. It means making the decision you have been circling around for weeks or months. It means looking at the situation with clear eyes and admitting that what you see is not what you wanted to see, but it is what is actually there. This is not about blame. This is not about making someone wrong. This is about honesty, first with yourself and then with whoever else is involved. You have been bending reality to fit a narrative that makes you feel safe, and while that strategy worked for a while, it has reached its limit. The gap between what you are telling yourself and what you actually know to be true has gotten too wide to straddle, and trying to keep one foot on each side is exhausting you. Let the truth land. Let it be uncomfortable. Let it rearrange things. Because on the other side of that discomfort is a freedom you have not felt in a very long time. The freedom of no longer having to manage a story that does not match your experience. When you stop performing certainty about things you are actually uncertain about, when you stop pretending to be fine with things that are actually not fine, when you stop protecting other people from truths they need to hear, you get your energy back. All the mental bandwidth you have been using to maintain the illusion gets returned to you, and you can redirect it toward building something real. That is what this period is asking of you. Not perfection. Not drama. Just honesty. Raw, uncomfortable, liberating honesty. And you are more ready for it than you think. Tip 8. The way you rest is about to become just as important as the way you work. You have been running on a system that was never designed to sustain the level of output you have been demanding from yourself, and your reserves are showing it. Libra, there is a cultural myth that productivity equals worth, and you have bought into it more deeply than you probably realize. You measure your value by how much you get done, how many people you help, how many responsibilities you manage without complaint. And while that work ethic has served you in many ways, it has also created a pattern where rest feels like failure, where slowing down feels like falling behind, and where doing nothing feels almost physically uncomfortable because your nervous system has been wired to associate stillness with danger. That wiring needs to be updated, and this season is going to force the update whether you cooperate or not. The universe has a way of shutting things down when you refuse to shut them down yourself. If you will not rest voluntarily, circumstances will arrange themselves to make rest your only option. This is not a threat. It is a pattern you have probably already experienced. Think back to times when you pushed too hard for too long and then something happened, an illness, a setback, a collapse of some kind that forced you to stop. That was not bad luck. That was your system pulling the emergency brake because you would not take your foot off the gas. You are approaching another one of those thresholds right now, but this time you have the awareness to handle it differently. This time you can choose rest before rest chooses you. And rest does not mean lying on the couch staring at the ceiling while your mind races through tomorrow's to-do list. Real rest means disengaging your problem-solving brain. It means allowing yourself to exist without producing, without fixing, without managing. It means giving your nervous system permission to drop out of fight or flight mode and settle into something slower, something gentler, something that allows repair to happen at the cellular level. You need more of this than you think. The fatigue you have been feeling is not just physical. It is emotional. It is spiritual. It is the kind of tired that sleep alone cannot fix because it runs deeper than your muscles and your circadian rhythm. It lives in the part of you that has been holding everything together for everyone, that has been the strong one, the reliable one, the one who never cracks. That part of you is asking for relief, and it deserves to receive it. Start treating rest as a non-negotiable part of your growth strategy. Block time for it the same way you would block time for a meeting or a deadline. Protect it from interruption with the same ferocity you use to protect your commitments to other people. Because here is what you are going to discover when you start resting properly. You actually get more done, not less. Your ideas become sharper. Your decisions become clearer. Your patience expands. Your creativity returns. The things that felt overwhelming start to feel manageable, not because they changed, but because you finally gave yourself the resources to deal with them effectively. Rest is not the opposite of progress. It is the foundation of it. And the sooner you integrate that truth into the way you live, the smoother everything else in this reading is going to unfold. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. A door is opening in your career or life direction, but it requires you to stop asking for permission. There is an opportunity forming right now that could significantly shift the trajectory of your professional life or your sense of purpose, and the only thing standing between you and that opportunity is your habit of waiting for someone else to tell you that you are ready. Libra, you have a deep pattern of seeking external validation before you make bold moves. You want someone, a mentor, a partner, a friend, a family member, the universe itself, to give you a sign, a green light, a clear confirmation that yes, this is the right time, and yes, you are qualified, and yes, it is going to work out. But that confirmation is never going to come in the way you are hoping for, because the kind of certainty you are looking for does not exist before you take the leap. It only exists after. The door that is opening for you right now is not going to wait while you poll everyone in your life for their opinion. It is not going to stay open while you run every possible scenario through your mind looking for a guarantee. It is going to present itself, it is going to stay open for a window of time, and then it is going to close regardless of whether you walk through it or not. And if you miss it because you are still drafting a pros and cons list, you will feel that loss in your bones for a long time. This is not about being reckless. This is about recognizing that you have already done the preparation. You have already built the skills. You have already put in the hours, the effort, the learning, the growing. The foundation is there. What is missing is not readiness. What is missing is trust, specifically trust in yourself. You have spent so long deferring to other people's judgment that you have lost touch with your own authority. You ask others what they think because you are afraid that what you think is not enough. You seek consensus because making a solo decision and having it go wrong feels more terrifying than staying stuck in indecision. But indecision is a decision. It is a decision to stay where you are. And where you are is no longer where you belong. The signs of this opportunity might be subtle at first. It could be a conversation that opens a door you were not expecting. It could be a realization that the thing you have been doing as a side interest or a hobby actually has the potential to become something much more substantial. It could be a moment where someone sees your talent and offers you a chance to step into a bigger role. Whatever form it takes, your job is to say yes before your fear has time to say no. That does not mean saying yes to everything. It means saying yes to the thing that makes your heart beat faster, the thing that scares you a little because it matches the size of your actual potential instead of the small box you have been operating in. You have been playing safe for a very long time. You have been taking calculated risks, which is another way of saying you have been taking risks small enough that failure would not embarrass you. But this season is not about safe bets. It is about bold ones. The kind of moves that make your stomach flip. The kind of decisions that force you to grow into a version of yourself you have not met yet. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to come along and tell you that your dream is valid. It is valid because you dreamed it. That is all the validation it needs. The door is open. Walk through it. And do not look back at the people who are too afraid to follow you, because where you are going requires a courage that not everyone has, and that is perfectly fine. This is your path. Claim it. Tip 10. The loneliness you have been feeling is not a problem to fix. It is a space being cleared for something deeper. There have been moments recently, maybe more than moments, maybe entire days, where you have felt profoundly alone even when you are surrounded by people. Libra, this kind of loneliness is different from isolation. It is not about being physically by yourself. It is about feeling unseen, unmatched, like the version of you that is emerging does not have a mirror in your current environment. You look around at the people in your life and you love them, you genuinely do, but there is a growing awareness that they do not fully understand what you are going through. They cannot because they are not going through it. And that gap between your internal experience and your external reality creates a particular kind of ache that is hard to put into words. But here is what you need to understand about this loneliness. It is not a sign that something has gone wrong. It is a sign that something is being prepared. The universe clears space before it fills it. It creates emptiness before it delivers fullness. And the loneliness you are experiencing right now is the emptiness that precedes a new level of connection. One that is more authentic, more aligned, and more deeply satisfying than anything you have experienced before. You are being separated from the surface-level connections so that you can make room for the soul-level ones. Think of it like clearing out a closet. You have to remove the old clothes before you can hang the new ones. And right now, energetically, you are in the middle of that clearing process. It is uncomfortable. It is disorienting. It makes you question whether you are doing something wrong, whether you have pushed too many people away, whether you will end up completely alone. But those fears are not prophecies. They are just the natural anxiety that comes with being in transition. You are not going to end up alone. You are going to end up surrounded by people who actually see you, who actually match your depth, who actually challenge you and support you in equal measure. But those people cannot find you if you are still filling your space with connections that keep you small. The loneliness is doing important work. It is teaching you to be comfortable in your own company, which is the foundation for every healthy relationship you will ever have. It is teaching you to distinguish between being alone and being lonely, because they are not the same thing. It is teaching you that your worth does not depend on how many people are around you, and that solitude can be a sanctuary instead of a punishment. Some of the most important growth you will experience during this period will happen in the quiet moments, the moments when nobody is watching, when nobody is texting, when nobody is asking you for anything. In those moments, you will discover parts of yourself that have been buried under years of social performance. You will reconnect with interests, desires, and dreams that you set aside because they did not fit the image you were maintaining for others. You will find that you actually enjoy your own company far more than you expected, and that realization will change everything about how you show up in future relationships. So do not rush to fill the silence. Do not reach for old connections just because the emptiness feels uncomfortable. Sit with it. Breathe through it. Trust that it is temporary and purposeful. The connections that are coming for you are worth the wait, and they will arrive at exactly the right moment, when you have finished the inner work that this solitude is designed to support. And now, as we come to the close of everything that has been laid out for you today, I want you to take a breath and really consider where you are standing in this moment. Not where you were 6 months ago, not where you hope to be next year. Right now, because right now is where all of your power lies, and right now is when the decisions that shape your future are being made, whether you are making them consciously or not. Libra, everything in this reading has pointed to one central truth. You are in the middle of a transformation that is bigger than any single area of your life. It is not just your relationship shifting. It is not just your finances realigning. It is not just your career evolving or your body recalibrating, or your creativity awakening. It is all of it all at once, because that is how real transformation works. It does not pick one corner of your life to renovate while leaving the rest untouched. It tears down walls you did not even know were there. It opens windows in rooms you forgot existed. It restructures the entire foundation so that what gets built on top of it can actually hold the weight of who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is someone remarkable, not because of what you achieve, but because of what you are willing to face. You are willing to face the discomfort of outgrowing people you love. You are willing to face the vulnerability of trusting your own intuition. You are willing to face the fear of asking for what you are actually worth. You are willing to face the pain of old connections resurfacing, and the discipline of not falling back into patterns that no longer serve you. You are willing to face the truth, even when the truth is inconvenient, even when it requires you to change something you were not planning to change. That willingness is rare. Most people spend their entire lives running from exactly the kind of growth you are walking toward, and the fact that you are still here, still watching, still open to hearing what the universe has to say to you, that tells me everything I need to know about the kind of person you are and the kind of future you are building. The next several weeks are going to move fast. Opportunities are going to appear. Conversations are going to happen that shift your perspective in ways you cannot predict. Old chapters are going to close with a finality that might take your breath away, and new ones are going to open with a speed that makes your head spin. Through all of it, remember this: you are not doing this alone. The universe has been setting this up for you longer than you realize, and every challenge you have survived, every heartbreak you have endured, every moment of doubt you have pushed through has been building the strength you need for exactly this season. Trust the process. Trust yourself. And most importantly, trust that the proof of your growth is not something you need to go looking for. It is already here. It is in the way you think now. It is in the way you feel now. It is in the choices you are making right now, in this very moment, as you decide what to do with everything you have just heard. You have two options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.